Everyone, welcome to the show. So the trial for the Trump train participants continues. Before I jumped into the details about witness testimony, though, I wanted to make sure everyone understands this is a civil case. So unfortunately, Donald Trump's DOJ, or Department of Justice, they were in charge when this happened in October of 2020. And then wimpy Merrick Garland refused to do anything with this case. So the alleged victims, the occupants of the Biden-Harris bus, they had to file a civil lawsuit. So the only thing a jury can do is to award them monetary damages. I've seen some comments regarding jail time. That doesn't apply in these types of cases. So here's where the trial left off last week. It ended with defendant Eliazar Cisneros on the stand. The plaintiffs have basically tried to show that he is the ringleader. He's the one who organized a lot of this attack. And out of all of the defendants, he's arguably in the most trouble because he hit the car of a Biden-Harris campaign staffer who was following the bus to their next stop. So first, I'm going to share with you what he said to the jury. And then I'm going to tell you why I wouldn't trust this guy if he said the sky was blue. So Cisneros apparently teared up. He's on the witness stand and he said, quote, "I don't get y'all trying to paint me out to be this horrible person when I'm not. I'm unbelievably patriotic. I love my country unbelievably. I stand hardcore for my flag and I love it. And when you have people that just try to destroy our country, that hurts. It hurts me." Aw, boo effing who. Here's why I have no sympathy for this guy and his crocodile tears. So first of all, he wrote in a message that he and another man planned this Trump train when they realized that the Biden-Harris team was going to be stopping in San Antonio, Texas. Second, in another private Facebook message, Cisneros wrote that he was, quote, "smart enough to get the entire Biden-Harris campaign canceled in Texas." Kind of sounds like an admission, doesn't it? So Cisneros tried to defend that message. He tried to say, oh, well, I was just responding to someone else's message to me who said, "You're not very smart, are you?" So sure sounds like he is just like his idol, just like the apricot antichrist. So when you goad this guy, when you make him feel small or question his intelligence, he takes the bait and he incriminates himself. Very helpful. I appreciate that. And in court, the plaintiff's counsel called Cisneros' credibility into question because he previously claimed that he lost his cell phone, like the cell phone that he was using at the time of this attack. So Cisneros said, oh, well, actually, I just couldn't find it at that time when I told you that I, lost it because my mother hid it from my brother who's addicted to heroin. And apparently they all live together. So sounds like mom did a bang up job raising her two sons who both have issues, still live at home. And then the judge previously sanctioned Cisneros for deleting evidence from his phone. So they found out that he deleted messages related to this bus attack. Now he says, oh, I wish I still had them because they would prove I'm innocent. Okay. And then during his cross-examination, the plaintiff's attorney brought up the fact that Cisneros previously drove his car into a crowd at a BLM protest. This was earlier in 2020. And as I previously shared, Cisneros admitted he was trying to scare them. And then there's also the fact that Cisneros was at the Capitol during the attempted insurrection on January 6th. And he was planning to take bear mace and collapsible batons with him to DC. Now, he claims he didn't follow through with that plan. Guess we'll have to take his word for it. And then you might recall Cisneros also bragged in a message about hitting the Biden-Harris campaign vehicle. So he made a comment, something to the effect of, "I'm the one who slammed that fucker." So, yeah. And then in pretrial hearings, The judge mentioned another comment that was made by Cisneros about how the occupants of the bus should be, quote, served 35 in tires. So I presume he's talking about a bullet. And then he made his animosity towards Democrats very clear on the witness stand. The plaintiff's attorney compared the Trump train defendants to a pack of wolves stalking their prey and attacking after one of the wolves howls. And he asked Cisneros, quote, "Weren't you the howler in this case, Mr. Cisneros?" Now, Cisneros didn't deny it, but he referred to the analogy as horrible. And then he said, quote, "I know what's important to me. I know how beautiful it is to be American. I know the divisiveness of the Democratic Party. So when I see these types of people, I want to speak out. I want to let people know what's important to us. And I think I have that right as an American to protest what they believe is right to them. And what's right to me is right here and the protection of this country." Now, it's difficult to know how this is going to land with the jury. Like I said, he's making his hatred for Democrats very clear. That point is, very instructive as to motive, right? I mean, he's repeatedly saying these people are trying to destroy my country, blah, blah, blah. Then again, this is Texas. So he is probably trying to endear himself to the jurors in Texas, who he would assume are, think of themselves as patriots who also hate the Democrats. What I find funny is how completely predictable these people are, right? You have this man who is so tough when he's with his pack of laughing hyenas, and online. But then when he's about to be held accountable for his actions, he starts blubbering, he starts playing the victim. So anyway, prior to Cisneros' testimony, there were other plaintiffs who testified. A man named David Gins. He was the Biden campaign director of operations for Texas, and Gins testified that he was praying for the bus driver. Gins told the jury, quote, "I just prayed for him that he was going to be able to maintain his composure. Our lives were in his hands." And Jin's text messages were shared with the jury. They showed his level of panic during this attack, and it showed that he was considering canceling their next event, which they ended up doing. They ended up canceling all of their other Texas events because of this attack. In one group text with another campaign member, one of his colleagues reminded him, hey, there's going to be a lot of journalists at the next stop. Kind of, encouraging him, like, you don't want to miss this next stop. You don't want to forego these campaign events because we could get a lot of publicity. And Gins responded with, quote, "I don't think anyone understands the gravity of this right now. We are moving 20 miles an hour on a highway boxed in by 50 Trump cars and no police." And then they also showed evidence that Gins requested increased security. There was a staff meeting following that weekend, and so he was asking for more help. I should also mention that under cross-exam, the bus driver who was another man, he was questioned about his statement that the Trump train attack caused him to temporarily stop driving tour buses. Apparently, they had evidence showing that, at least in part, his decision to taper off driving was due to the COVID pandemic. They also showed a text exchange that the bus driver had with a friend that kind of played into their pathetic defense that the whole impetus for this lawsuit is about money and depleting the finances of Republicans. So in this text exchange, the bus driver, which is Timothy Holloway, he was talking about this lawsuit, and his friend said to him, quote, "I hear a cash machine warming up, driver." And then Holloway responded with, quote, "Ding." So, I mean, two things can be true at once, right? Were these people terrorized by Trump's loons? Yes. Is it also possible that they wanted to see them punished in the only way legally possible, which is financially? Absolutely, right? I mean, if that's the only thing that you can do to get justice, yeah, ding. And these comments from Holloway really struck me. He told the court that they've encountered other Trump supporters. As they were traveling the country that year, they came across a lot of different Trump supporters, never had a problem with them. Holloway said that once they saw this hearse, he said he saw a hearse driving down the highway and it had Biden's name painted on it, as if like, oh, the Biden campaign is dead, it's buried. And Holloway said, quote, "I thought that was very creative." And then he told the jury, quote, "I saw different people that have different views could come together. It was cool." Now, compare his statements and his beliefs to that of Cisneros, who's raging against Democrats, saying, oh, they're destroying the country, they're destroying the flag, and blah, blah, blah. I'm a patriot. They suck. I'm telling you, there is something seriously askew in MAGA minds. They're some of the most angry, bitter, hateful people. And Trump just fertilized and watered those weeds. So anyway, we'll see what happens. I will keep you updated on this case. Cisneros was back on the stand today. Supposedly it's going to be wrapped up this week, and then the jury is going to get the case and they'll make a decision. So as soon as I know more, I will share it. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, please share, and subscribe. Please donate if you can. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.